Every day, the woman prepared coffee for her guests. Once the guests were unconscious, she would drag them to the lakeside, where Amy would cut the ropes, tie stones to their bodies, and let them slowly sink into the lake. Unbeknownst to many, the lake was already filled with countless similar bodies. Yet, the mysterious disappearances of these people attracted no investigation because this remote area lay on the border, a place few dared to venture. Moreover, the victims were all criminals who had broken the law. To make dirty money, Amy and her mother ran a shady inn that only accepted one guest at a time. Amy served the guests coffee, while her mother ransacked their rooms for valuables. They had a worker at the inn who dealt with the guests' belongings. Though the mother and daughter paid him no wages, he often found valuable items to keep for himself. Once the deed was done, they wrapped the guests in plastic bags and dumped them in the lake. Even if some guests were still alive when they sank, the stones tied to their feet prevented escape. The mother and daughter thought they could grow rich from this scheme, but one day, Amy told her mother she didn't want to kill anymore. Shocked, her mother urged Amy to keep going, claiming they hadn't earned enough. Left with no choice, Amy reluctantly continued. That day, Amy handed a guest her usual cup of coffee. Once the room fell silent, she hurried to ransack their belongings. However, a car suddenly arrived. Faced with armed men, the mother and daughter were forced to treat their wounds. Unknown to Amy and her mother, the two men were actually fugitives and drug traffickers on the run from the police. To avoid being discovered, Mike threatened the mother and daughter to stay locked in a room. Amy, however, snuck into the unconscious guest's room. As the drug's effects wore off, the guest woke up and grabbed Amy by the throat, trying to kill her. Luckily, Mike appeared just in time to knock the guest out. To ensure no loose ends, Mike buried the guest. This act of protection sparked Amy's feelings for Mike. The next day, her mother told her to kill him as soon as possible. Outwardly, Amy agreed, but instead, she secretly went on a date with Mike. Upon discovering this, her mother insisted that Amy leave him, fearing her daughter would fall victim to a criminal. Amy, however, refused to listen and even asked Mike to elope with her. But Mike rejected her, admitting he never loved Amy. He had only saved her that day so he could stay at the inn a few extra days. At that moment, Amy's mother appeared. This movie is called Coyote Lake. If you're intrigued, check out the original film.